On this week's episode, we talk about things we wish we could see.
And things we're glad that we can't see.
Ooh. So many things. Stick around.
Hello, and welcome to Rare with Flair.
The podcast where two 20-somethings with the same rare disease are living their best lives. I am your host, Cassandra.
And I'm your host, Casey.
What's up, Case?
What's up, Cass? How have you been, girl?
You know what? It's really cold, and I'm in that time of year where it's like, it's not going to be cold for a week, so I'm freezing in my house because I refuse to turn on the heat because it's not consistently cold.
It is very difficult to know what to wear, to know what the temperature is, heat or air, sweater or no sweater. Like, I'm in that exact same spot as you.
I gotta say, I'm wearing one of my favorite sweaters right now, but anyway.
Yes. Also,
girl.
What? Go ahead, go.
Girl, you need to update the pod about if you went apple picking, please.
I did not. That is this weekend.
Ooh,
yes, I'm going apple picking this weekend, but last weekend I had my nephews over and I did this cute little like Halloween trick-or-treat thing for them at my condo, and it was so much fun. Precious. Also, I smelled fall for the first time. If you guys haven't heard us talk about this, Cass and I smell fall, like when it comes, like you go outside and you just smell the smell. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And I'm convinced it's like it's the leaves and it's the cold weather.
Yes.
That make it smell like fall, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Yes. Also, we both started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender together.
Oh, it's been so good.
I think on our last episode we said we were going to, but we have. Just in case you're I know you're all just, waiting to hear what show we're watching.
It has been like a couple weeks since we started, so I think we're on like episode 14 of season 1 today. So like perfect timing.
We write full essays on this show to each other.
I think I sent you an 8-minute memo about the episode The Storm. It's fine. We're fine.
We're fine. But what have you been up to, my friend?
Oh, I'm still trying to use the apples that I got.
Oh, yes.
When I went apple picking at the end of September. And I'm still not done.
Quite right. You got so many apples. I just imagine this photo of your house with like apples pouring out the front door. Just because she keeps telling me, I still have apples. I still have apples.
I still have apples.
How do you still have apples? But you've made so many things. You've baked so many things.
Yes.
You've baked, apple cake, apple pie, apple tart, right?
Apple butter. Apple
butter? Girl.
Yes.
Girl.
And I'm hoping to make like a little apple tart, and that should be the end of it. I don't know if they're reproducing. It's fine.
They're reproduced. You just wake up and there's like never a shortage
more
of
apples, like never ending apples.
That's not the worst problem a person could have.
I guess not. I guess you'll just have like a limitless supply of apples. But anyway, what have you been up to?
I mean, yeah, pretty much that's it. Like I said, had my nephews over and
so
all
cute.
of that. It was fun. And
I think, didn't you went on, have you told the pod about Girls' Day? Is that something?
Oh, I totally did. That was a few weeks ago, but my mom's sister and I, once a year in the fall, we have a little spring mini one, but we have Girls' Day. It's just a day for the three of us girls to be together. We shop, we eat dinner, we hang out, we laugh. It's a great time. And I had a fantastic time.
Such cute clothes, though. Like,
I did.
That's like her like one shopping day, you guys. I'm
like,
it's so cute.
Yes,
so
I do buy other pieces throughout the year, but I try to not shop very much. And then Girls' Day, I'm like, this is my shopping day of the year. So yeah, it was.
Have you so wide-legged pants? We've talked about this before. You hadn't worn them because they don't always work because short.
Yes. No,
But you did just get some. How have they worked?
I did. They've worked well. I still am not used to it. Yeah. So we talked about, I think we made an episode called Throwing Out Our Skinny Jeans ? And I, for a while, have been wearing just like the straight leg jeans, but I got wide leg. And Cass is a fan of the wide leg. I'm a little afraid of it. Leg. But no, they're extremely comfortable. You could eat a whole Thanksgiving meal and still feel real good. That's why it excites me a lot. Like, I could wear them at Thanksgiving and be happy. So,
They are solid.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Oh, man. We've got a doozy.
We've got a fun. I think this is going to blow not only the minds of our listeners, but our own minds this episode.
We were like talking about this because sometimes we'll like pre-plan a little, but this one we were just like, all right, we're going to make a list. Here we go.
Here we go.
And we started like briefly, lightly talking around some things, and we've already had our minds blown.
Yes.
So...
Yes, pretty much. We're going to tell you the things, like we said in the cold open, the things we wish we could see and the things we're glad we can't. I mean, you know, there's a lot that we wish we could see. I mean, pretty much everything we wish we could see.
Of course.
But there are some things in this life where we can look on the bright side of our vision impairment and be like, I'm really actually glad I can't really see that very much.
God, there's so many like specific moments that I'm like, I didn't,
right.
Or just like things that I'm like, wow, I did not realize that people could see that, and that sounds
kind of weird, unpleasant, right? Like I think, and we're trying to be really specific with these lists because it's like, what do we wish we could see? Well, obviously, we wish we could see like people's facial expressions, or like we could drive a car or whatever. But we're going to be more specific with these things, and I'm excited though to get to the ones we're glad we can't, because I feel like that will be really a weird trip down.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, shout out to my brother. I was just talking to him before we were recording. I don't know if he's listening, but I was telling him that this was the topic that we were talking about, and like my brother can, like, we talked about this when we talked about our siblings. Like, we were saying that we feel that respectively both of our siblings can see like really
everything
well. Like, more than the average sighted person even.
Yes, they do.
And so, like, I'm kind of glad that I told him, because I asked him, like, wait, is this something that you can see? And he's like, yeah, I've seen that before. I was like, no way!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, our siblings, I think they both not only have incredible vision, but are also very observant people, too. So, like...
Very distracted by
things they're seeing. My sister, that is literally her in a nutshell. Like, always looking over my shoulder when I'm talking to her at something else. My dad's a little bit like that, too.
So wild.
Oh, man. But yeah, this is another like list episode. Like our last episode was listy as well, but this is different. This is a
little different. There are two lists. And
yes, two lists, and we don't know what's on each other's list.
This is true. I mean, that's kind of like last week, but still.
Yeah. Yes.
But still.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there might be some crossover here.
Starting with the things that we wish we could see.
Right.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Sure, and I'm assuming this might be on yours, for sure. Okay. Stuff in the sky.
Yeah!
Let me be specific. I would like to see... I don't see stars, like, at all. Like, maybe, like, once in a blue moon I'll see a star. But it has to be very specific. Like, I only realized a few years ago that, like, my friends could see, like, a bunch of stars at night. And I was like, I don't see... So I see the moon... Although I recently also learned that people can see texture on the moon.
That's not real. That cannot be real.
I see just a like light blob.
White blob.
And then another thing though is like, okay. Hear me out here, okay? Planes. Because I can see them, but like when I say I can see them, I mean I see a dot moving.
You see, like, the blinky lights on the bottom?
Yes. So do you think, can sighted people, are they straight up seeing wings and windows? Are they straight up seeing the plane?
I, like, ran out of words because I'm like, wow, people can really see that, I guess.
Can they? I don't know. I think they probably can.
I bet you they can.
Like, could they count the amount of windows on the plane, you think?
I don't know. I wonder if they can see that good. This is so funny. We're just, like, speculating.
I have no idea. We need a sighty right here with us.
We need a consultant.
We need somebody here to be like, hey, we both live alone. Yeah. Would that be so funny if we called someone? Like live on this podcast? Like, can you see? We should do that.
I have a question, yeah.
But, like, yeah. So, anyway, just all of the above, anything in the sky. Sometimes you see things in the sky and you don't know what you're seeing. You're kind of like, oh, what's that? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I feel like this episode might end up getting into a lot of tangent because, I feel like I've seen stars before, but it's very, like, you have to, for me, it has to be very, very specific. Like, I have to be in, like, the middle of absolute nowhere.
The middle of nowhere, and it's, like, a very big star that's pretty bright.
Actually, okay. So I had this, like, so there are things that I feel like I've seen that have kind of blown my mind because I've only seen them a few times, and I didn't realize they were, like, a real thing. So, years ago, I was in college and I went on a retreat with, like, my church, and we went to, like, the middle of nowhere, Ohio, and we were, like, it was fall and it was very, very dark, and I walked outside and, you know, your eyes kind of adjust to the light, and then suddenly, like, I, like, laid back in the grass. Girl, I could see stars.
Yeah, like, I've had that happen maybe like 2 times.
It's like very, yeah, it's like,
but like people
rare,
in our lives
so
can see the stars. Like, I didn't realize that my friends could see them, like, here in our big cities with lights.
Really?
Yeah, my friends were literally telling me recently. We were standing outside of my condo, which has a lot of light around, and they were saying they could literally see them right there. And I was like, I would have to be kidding me? Yeah, that's what they said. And I was like, I literally didn't know this until literally a year or 2 ago. And I was like, I would have to be at a cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
maybe
like in the middle of nowhere. Right?
But no, they could see. They said they could see them legit. Like, yeah, I was like,
what blows my mind is that people can, like, pick out individual constellations. I'm like,
oh my god,
no.
No. Yeah, can you imagine, like, the romantic moment of, like, you're on like a blanket with your partner or whatever, and they're like, look at this constellation.
Look, it's Virgo. Like,
you see that all the time.
Face.
It's like, okay, I'll just go to the fake planetarium, maybe.
Right? Okay, so this is related. I had to ask my brother, have you seen this before? And he said yes.
Okay.
I wish I could see rain.
Oh my. Oh, I've never thought much about that.
So, like, okay, in animation, you see, like, they either draw, like, lines or, like, blue droplets.
Yeah.
You know, rain is a lot like we were talking about recently when we can't see people's tears.
Right.
It's, like, clear, obviously, and of course we can feel the rain and we can see the rain on a window.
Yes.
But, like, one time I saw snow. Like, I saw it snowing because it was, like, dark outside and I was under a street lamp, and I looked up and I saw, like tiny little things falling, and I was like, whoa, it's snowing. But I asked my brother, I was like, okay, wait, have you ever seen it, like, rain coming down? And he's like, yeah, so I've actually, I was like, this is not real. You're lying to me. He said, like, sometimes if like, you're really high up, you can see it rain and you can kind of, like, watch individual drops fall. I was like, there's no way you can do that.
Carlos, you're wrong, man. That is what, so if I'm standing, like, under an awning, I can see the rain. You know what I'm saying? When, like, the rain is coming down. Like,
no, I want to see it coming out of the sky.
Coming out of the sky? No. You know what else blows my mind? When it's like, have you ever been somewhere where it's not raining on you, but it's raining a few miles up? Like, ahead of you?
Where, like, the sky looks like it's split in half?
Yes, and people can see, and I can see, like, maybe dark clouds or whatever, but people can see, like, oh, it's raining up ahead. And I'm like, what? But wait, Carlos is telling me that he can look up. Yeah, wait, this is blowing my mind. Like, he's just seeing it coming out of the sky.
He can see. He said, like, sometimes when he's been in, like, at an amusement park or something where he's, like, higher up to the sky, and, like, if it's raining, he can like, track a raindrop.
Oh my
as
god,
it falls.
no!
Like, are you
track
freaking kidding me?
the raindrop? Are you? That is crazy.
I didn't know that was real.
I mean, wow. And it's like we wouldn't know what we don't know.
Yeah. Well, and, like, obviously, I don't know, sighted people are so used to seeing what they see, and we are so used to not seeing so many things. So, like, you know, of course, I feel like that feels like normal occurrence for them, whereas for us, like, we cannot fathom that that's a real thing.
Oh my gosh, totally.
It's so wild.
My next one is okay, I've talked about this on the pod, I think, before, but, like, a dream of I don't even have a TV in my room, actually, but A dream of mine has always been to lay in bed while watching TV, like mounted on the wall across the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, that must be comfortable. Like, you're in the bed and you can see the TV. And like, nowadays we have things like iPads and things like that where we could put it like in the bed with us. But like, back when I was younger, when that wasn't commonplace to have like tablets and things, I was like, oh, I wish I could, because like I had a little TV in my room as like a teen, and I was like, I wish I didn't have to like be in a weird position to like see this. So yeah,
I was thinking about TV from the couch.
Oh, that too. Oh my gosh.
Well, because like, you know, when you're like sick and you're laying on the couch in front of the TV, I feel like I just listen to the TV, really.
Yeah,
or
pretty
like
much.
I have to take out my phone, but it'd be so convenient to just be able to see the television.
Especially when you're with friends and stuff, or like playing video games with friends.
From the couch?
From the couch. Luxury. Like, I feel like, so like whenever I'm playing video games with my friends, they're like comfortably reclined on the couch in the most comfortable position. And I'm like on the ground, like my back is breaking. Like I'm like leaning up against something weird or cold, like on the floor, just to be able to play this game.
I feel like Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I can play, but like, I love how they're like vegged out in the most comfortable spot they could be in. And I am like barely surviving to play this game.
No, I feel that. Like, I feel like I rarely sit on my couch, because if I'm going to play a video game, I pull up my ottoman to sit by the TV.
Yes.
So I just sit in my ottoman.
Yes. My parents have like a nice couch and a TV, and I can't really see it. And like, if I'm at their house, like, and we're not watching something I really care about, I'll just sit on the couch and like miss a lot of it. But if it's something I really care about, I'll get like a super uncomfortable kitchen chair and like sit.
I have to do that with my parents. They're like leaning there, like we'll watch like TV in their room, and I go visit them, and they're like laying on the bed, like half asleep. Yeah. I have to pull in the office chair from
the office chair. You're like sitting up straight while they're like laying down. Like you're like it's so bad. Oh my gosh. Cass is coming to visit me for my birthday, and we're going to watch a movie at my party. That's like part of it. And I'm like, me and you are going to be like in some uncomfortable position.
Right. Like huddled up.
Yes.
By the
it's going to be great. It's going to be great while everyone else is comfy on the couch.
Hey, okay, the good thing is, though, that, like, it's not going to be just, like, one of us alone. It'll be both of us together.
Oh.
We can be cuddly, too.
One time I was at a NOAA conference, which is our albinism organization, and they had a slideshow, and there was a bunch of chairs set up in the meeting room, and we were all sitting on the floor, like, in front of all the chairs. I thought that was cute.
Oh, my gosh, I remember that.
It is better when you're with somebody else. It does feel isolating when you're alone, because everyone is together back there. Hanging out,
and they get to
kind
of like look at each other, and like you want to see what people are thinking, and you got to look back, and you can't see their facial expressions.
Now, have you seen this like watch thing that they have on Disney Plus now, where you can have your iPad synced up to the TV? Have you seen this?
Wait, no, I just tried to start it at the same time. I'm sorry.
No. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a real thing they have now for specifically, I think, just for Disney Plus, and you don't have to start it. It's called Group Watch or Group Play.
Wait, you can do a group watch. That's brilliant.
Oh, we should do that at my party.
That would be so fun. Okay.
It's not on Disney Plus,
love that.
Whatever.
I love how casual this episode is. Okay. One thing I wish I could see, and we mentioned it on a previous episode, but wish I could see a groom at a wedding. Could be my wedding.
Stop. This stresses me. This stresses me out so bad.
Yeah, could be my wedding. Could be literally anyone else's wedding. I feel, okay, so I, like, as a recap, I was a bridesmaid in 3 weddings this year. And every time I feel like an idiot standing there just smiling. And I have to, like, go into my head and, like, think about, like, oh, I'm so excited for my 2 friends. Like, they're getting married. Like, how exciting. So, like, I hype myself up in my head because I can't see the bride and I can't see the groom.
Yeah, no, it makes me very sad because I want to see, because, like, what if the groom is crying? We can't see it.
Yeah.
Like, we can't see, or the first look, we can't see it. But also that mainly stresses me out for if I get married for my own wedding. Like, that stresses me out that, like, I wouldn't see the groom as I'm, like, walking down. And then another thing in a similar vein that really stresses me out, which is so funny that I'm stressed about this hypothetical thing that might not happen. Ultrasounds. Like of a baby?
I can't see those at all.
I'm like,
it just looks like blobs.
I can't see my child. And the funny thing is, like, I'm sure the ultrasound tech would be like, look, here's the head, and here's the thing, and here's this, and here's that. And I would just pretend, like, oh, yeah.
Like,
that
if you say
nice.
So.
And they're like, oh, look, they put their thumb in their mouth. It's like, oh, I'm sure that looks cute. Yeah,
that's neat.
I think they can record it for you, though, maybe, and, like, let you see it, or take pictures that you can look at later or whatever, but... That's another thing.
When people post their ultrasounds on social media, like, I try to zoom in to see, like, if I can see the baby. Because it's kind of a test for me.
Well, I will say, ultrasounds nowadays are way better than they ever were. I mean, you can really see the face.
True, but it's not the same. It still can't. Yeah.
I mean, we just can't see it live as it, like, if they were on, yeah, so, anyway.
When you're, like, on the table with the jelly in the belly, like, look at the baby, and you're like,
yeah, you're like, really, I cannot. Sorry, ma'am. No can do. So another one, and this really was in school. So I love to read, and I would love to read during class. I don't recommend that. But, like, all of my reader friends, I had 2 close friends in high school, Kelsey and Brooke, and we would all trade books with each other and read. And I would get so jealous because they could hold their book under the desk and secretly read while the teacher was teaching.
Oh, my Lord.
And I wanted to read so bad. And this is, once again, I don't recommend reading when you're supposed to be listening to your teacher. But, like, I wanted so badly to read during class. And I got so mad that they were able to hold their book under the desk and hide it. When like, in general, we can't hide anything. Like, if we're trying to text someone discreetly, we can't text. We can't look at the time discreetly. We can't, like, if you're, like, at a party and you want to look at the time discreetly to not be rude, it's like, we can't discreetly do anything.
I feel like this day and age, though, like, people check their phones so much that it's, like, more commonplace to see that, I think. But still, like... okay. I try to be covert and text under the table, but I know in the back of my mind that people can see me.
But how can you? You can see good enough to hold it under the table?
I try to type where I know the letters are, and then I'll try to zoom in to, like, spell check myself.
That's where autocorrect really comes in handy. It's like,
right?
It seems like it might be this word.
It could do you dirty.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah. I feel like other people can, like, slightly quickly glance at their Apple Watch or whatever. Right. Like, we would have to hold it all the way up.
Oh, girl, when I try to read a text on my Apple Watch, it's, like, on my Oh my god. Okay. One thing I wish I could see is I think I've seen it just, like, very briefly, like, if you're very close to someone. I wish I could see someone's eyes light up. You know?
Oh.
Because I feel like I hear that described when you watch a lot of audio described stuff. They're like, oh, their eyes light up and whatever. And, you know, I feel like, you know, you can see kind of surprise or like sudden excitement on generally on someone's, like, countenance and generally in someone's, like, mood. Like, you can kind of feel out someone's mood sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, to see, like, their eyes just, like, get bright, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this on, you know how we said in a recent episode that, like, television is one of our best teachers, you know? Mm-hmm. Not just with, like, audio description, but, like, visually, I feel like I've seen this on TV more than, like, real life people where, like, you know, and it's kind of just an expression where, like, their face lights up, like, they get excited about something.
Right.
But, like, I feel like I have seen that more, like, on TV than like, in real life. Yeah. No, that, you know what I always hated the expression growing up, the eyes are the window to the soul. Because, like, I understand. I really did. It almost offended me growing up. Because I'm like, I'm like, I understand, like, what they're saying. Because, like, you can see the emotion in the eyes. But, like, I could never really see people's emotions in their eyes. And I used to think
I can't see their soul.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I used to think when I was little, because my eyes are different and they move and they're disabled or whatever, like, can people not see my soul through my... I genuinely thought people couldn't see my soul through my eyes. No, yeah, I thought this. I really, that expression bothered me when I was a kid because I was like, oh, well, I guess they can't see my soul. Like, which is not true. I wear my emotions on my face pretty well, I think. But I didn't understand, like, as a kid. But even us, I feel like it is harder for us to see people's expressions specifically in their eyes.
My mom is really good at that. Like, she'll be like, oh, like, I remember especially growing up when, like, if I would tell her about, like, someone and she would, like, see that, you know, at school and she would end up seeing them and she's like, I thought their eyes, like, I didn't trust them, you know? It's just like, what?
Or it's like if somebody is smiling, but they look dead behind their eyes. Like, they don't look they look sad. Like, I've heard people say, like, oh, they're smiling, but they look sad behind their eyes. And I'm like, I kind of get what they mean. Like, I've seen that before, but, like, it's harder for us to see it.
I've seen that in some pictures. Like, you can zoom in and you can be like, I don't think they're actually happy, but...
Yeah, especially if you know the person and you know what their real happiness normally would look like. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
Interesting. The next one, I don't know why I was thinking about this, but, like, I've seen a lot of, like, Halloween decor in people's front yards and stuff, and of course Christmas too. And, like, I see the lights and I enjoy that. I see, like, orange lights but I would love to be able to see, like, the detail of everybody's outdoor home decor, or even just, like, the outside of people's houses, period. Like,
girl, right? Well, this makes me think of one I was gonna mention, but, like, yeah, like, you know, you can generally see the house.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, the shutters and, like, the more individual stuff. Or like when people, this gets back to, you know, when we've talked about, like, how it's, like, hard to see through windows?
Oh, yes.
People talk about how, like, they can, like, they'll, like, walk by people's houses and see, like, their cozy family having dinner. I'm like, what?
What? Oh, that creeps me out.
Isn't that gross? Can you?
No,
like,
that's terrifying.
See inside your house. Like, close all your windows.
No, that's literally terrifying. I have a window right next to my desk, and I, like, leave it open because I don't want my plants to die. And, like, people can definitely probably see me, like, working at my desk. And that terrifies me because I can't see that. Well, it's kind of like the bears during COVID when people put bears in their windows.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody remember this? The bear thing? We couldn't see that. But, like, wait, people can see people having dinner and stuff inside?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, but, like, that also, like, if it's cute, that also kind of sounds kind of cozy. You know, like, if you, like, go by at Christmas time, you can see, like, their Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You know? And that'd be kind of cute, right? Like...
Yeah, but no, it creeps me out that people, like, are seeing me.
What can people see inside my house?
Oh, I hate it.
That's why I usually keep my blinds, like, kind of closed. Not just because, like, the light bothers me just a little bit, but also, like, what can people see?
What can people see? But also, like, people do really cute front porch. It, like, even take away the holidays of, like, Halloween and Christmas. Even just cute front porch decor. Like a cute planter or whatever. Yeah, we're missing little
rocking chair. I know.
You know, little rocking chair. It's like my dream. I love that.
I know. It
sounds like my dream.
Right?
Life. Was that me or you? Yeah, that was me. So you're next.
Yeah. So I wish I could see texture on things. And, like, you know, I mean, from a distance, right? So, like, we can see things, like, if we're close enough, like, when you're talking about houses, I was thinking, like, I wish I could see, like, individual brick on people's houses.
Right. Yeah.
Because, like, it just kind of looks like a reddish wall.
Yes. Well, it's, like, my favorite phenomenon ever where, like, somebody has a pink shirt on, and then you get closer and you're like, wait, it's a red and white striped shirt.
Yes, actually. It's so trippy.
That messes with me, man. I'm like, that was striped?
Yeah. I remember noticing that, like, for one of the first times when I was, like, in high school, I went on a college visit, and it was, like, a rectangle that was, like, red and white striped, and I'm like, oh, nice pink rectangle. And my mom was like, that is not pink.
That happens to me constantly. Or, like, checkered. It'll be, like, red and white checker, and it's pink. Or it'll be, like, green and white checker, and it just looks green.
Yeah, like a light green. It's so trippy. It's how weird. Your brain will just, like, make it one thing when you can't distinguish it.
Yeah, detail would be pretty cool. And also some detail would not be cool to see. Which we'll get to.
We'll get to that. But like could you like sync like the fibers on like, I don't know, on like a blanket or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean, if I hold it really close, I can kind of see.
Yeah, or like take a picture.
If I have like a cable knit sweater, I can see that it's a cable knit sweater.
Oh, sure.
But like, could I from far away? Absolutely not. It would just look like somebody had like a cream color sweater on,
Right.
Yeah, that is, definitely interesting. My very last one is, and this is like not very specific kind of, but I feel like just like, and I know you understand, shows, concerts, plays, musicals. I mean, we can use monoculars and other stuff, but it'd be really cool to just sit there and see it without having to do a bunch else.
Right. I mean, I've gone to concerts with people that like can see significantly more than I can. And they'll be like, oh, like the lead is like really into it. Like you can tell, and like they're really, their face and whatever. Like, and it's just like, oh, that would be so cool. Right?
Yeah, and when they cry, like, I've had that happen many times where my mom is like, they're crying, and I'm glad she lets me know, because I'm like, like, right. Kristen Chenoweth, like, sings Bring Him Home from Les Mis at a lot of her concerts, and she usually always cries during it, and, like, I would never have known.
Wow.
And that, like, that's very powerful to see that, if you could.
Right? Well, we were talking about this, like, in a recent episode where we're like, we do not know. We're like, we have not seen people's tears before.
Right.
And, like, to recap, like, we can tell by other external factors that people are crying. Like, their voice trembles, like, their face might crumple a little bit if you're close enough to see that, like, or, like, their face can get red. There are a few things, but like if you just see like stoic face with like single tear, like that's not.
No, I mean I've seen tears if I'm really close to the person, like I can see that they have wet cheeks, but
yeah,
it's specific. That's
or
very
like the
rare.
lighting. That's very lighting specific too.
It's rare that you're that close to someone crying that hard. I mean that doesn't happen super often, probably. So.
No, and you've got to be like really close with that person. Like,
yeah. I feel like. So wait, have you done all yours for this?
Oh, I have. Sorry, I had one more.
Oh no, do your one more because I have a disclaimer after we finish this section.
Oh, okay. So I wish that I could see like clean areas. Like when you spill something on the floor. Like, did you get it all? I don't know. I don't really know. Or
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm glad I can't see like things that are super dirty, but like, when you're like trying to find a table at a restaurant and you're like, oh, is this one clean? Like, I can't really tell unless it's really gross,
Oh my gosh. I was just out to eat with my sister and my dad, and Lindley, my sister, was like, oh, this fork is dirty. I need to send it back. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I probably would have just stuck it right in my mouth. Well, like,
it would have been nice to know.
Well, wait, this begs the question of like, if somebody comes over to my house, can they just see if my table is dusty? I guess they can. And this kind of thing terrifies me though, because I'm like, people think I'm disgusting probably because they're seeing all this stuff on me and around me that like I'm not seeing.
Right.
But like, I try to clean as much as I can.
Right.
Anyway.
We have to like within that we have to like end up being more intentional about like, okay, well, I'm assuming that, like, we do it on a schedule, or, like, I'm assuming that people see it, or we have someone in our lives that's, like, like our moms or something that's like, oh, this needs dusting, and so we're like, oh, okay, sure.
Right, but that is interesting. And before we move on to the things we can't see, I do feel like for the sighted people in our lives, like our loved ones listening to this has probably made them very sad for us. I feel like I feel like this whole time they're probably sobbing, bawling their eyes out. No. So that's why when we lead into this next part, I hope you'll feel a little happier that we are happy about some things we can't see.
That's a really good disclaimer, because sometimes, like, I think with our episode of like things that things that are confusing about navigating social situations. My mom was like, honestly, I'm kind of sad. Like,
no, my mom gets sad
hearing
too.
That.
No, mine gets sad too, and I'm kind of like, I think they get more sad than we are about it.
Well, because we have no idea what we're missing.
We don't know what we're missing. And we don't, like, none of these things we just mentioned is going to make or break our existence. Like, it's kind of like, that would be nice, but it's not the end of the world. Obviously, we're still surviving if we can't see an airplane in the sky.
Sure.
I don't really care.
And, like, for like a groom at a wedding, like, if it's your own wedding, like, that's when I would arrange, like, a first look where, like, you could, you'd stand back to back until you, like, turn around and then you can see each other,
I used to always be against first looks until I thought about that. And then I have decided I would probably want to do a first look. Because
I would definitely want to do it because I feel like it would be such a missed experience.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally.
Like, ugh.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, yeah, this okay. And there are so many things that are unpleasant that I think we're both so glad.
Oh my gosh.
We cannot see.
How do you people live in your lives seeing these things? How do you go through the day?
I would like not want to go outside.
I would not want to ever live if I could see these things.
This is why we don't care if we get our vision back.
Oh gosh, if I got my vision, I would be so disgusted at the world, I think.
I know!
Yeah. I'd be disgusted.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So go.
Okay. This is definitely probably on your list. Details on bugs.
Yep. That's on my list.
I would rather die. I'd rather die than see individual legs and like eyes and hair on a bug.
I want to like throw up thinking about that. Just like, how flies have like 20,000 eyes?
No, please stop. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I
know. That's horrifying. This is
please,
absolutely disgusting.
Gentle listener, understand that like when we see a bug, we see like a black dot, brown dot, whatever color. If I could see like the shell of a cockroach or something, like for real, like the eyes,
I would burn down my house.
Like if I got my sight back and I had to live through seeing that, I would beg to be blind again. I would beg to be blind again.
I've gotten like really close to a spider before and seen its individual legs, and I was like, I'm good. That spider is gonna drown now.
I've seen the legs, but not the eyes. Have you ever seen the eyes of a bug? Like
no.
Oh
no.
No.
That sounds.
I feel ill. And I'm sorry to anyone listening who like really loves, if you really love like bugs, like we love the creatures of the earth too. We just don't want to see them. Okay, like I appreciate creatures.
We're so used to not seeing them that we're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
I do not want to see it at all. Not at all.
Oh boy. Okay, my thing, and I feel like this is a common thing for people to say, that they're glad that they can't see, dead animals. But, like, like roadkill type stuff. But specifically, I'm thinking of, like, some of my friends went camping recently, and I hate camping, so I didn't go. But, like, they came back and they were talking about how they saw, like, a hawk just, like, destroy a bird. I'm like, you know what? That sounds awful.
I've, like, been in situations where other people are seeing that, and I'm so glad I can't. I'm so glad. Oh, that just sounds awful.
Ugh. I mean, like, I get it. It's nature, but I don't want to watch it.
Animals killing other animals and stuff. No, like an animal inside a bird's mouth. I have one that's kind of similar to that and way more kind of sad and morbid, but like car crashes and disturbing images. Like hurt people because I'll be driving, I'm not driving, but I'll be riding in the car and they'll be like, oh gosh, somebody's on the road, like somebody's hurt. And I'm like, oh gosh, like one time we saw like a body bag situation and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I'm like,
that sounds like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I don't want to see that, and I'm so glad that I don't. And like when that's happening, I'm so glad I can't see it. I'm just like, because I feel like if you could see, even if you don't want to see it, curiosity almost kills you to like look over quickly.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't have the choice to ignore it, really. I mean, you could, but, like, you kind of, your curiosity, you, like, look over. Or you, like, accidentally see it. Like, you accidentally
right.
look over.
Like, and you can't, you can't take it back, right? Like,
yeah, you can't take it back. But, like, we can't see it, period. Like, even if
in
we
our
tried.
case, like, even if we really tried to look.
Yeah.
Like, not excluding, like, taking out our phones or our visual tools, but, like, if we really tried to see it with something like what you were just describing too, like we wouldn't probably even have enough time to do that as you drove past.
Right. No.
So like
but
catching that glance, we would never see that.
I don't want to see that. I don't
want
to see
gross.
That. No.
Okay. I was talking to my brother and he validated that people can in fact see these things, and this leads to the broad category of disgusting things on people's faces.
Oh no.
Including like those like eye booger sleep things.
Oh no.
I bet you people can see that.
Oh,
Carlos said that they can, and that sounds gross.
Or even like food on people's mouths.
Ooh, yeah. Or like people can see boogers in your nose. That sounds gross.
Is that for like people really can see boogers in people's noses?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I feel like fully sighted people are so used to seeing all of this that they have this tolerance built up, I guess, of like, I've always seen this. But like if we all of a sudden one day went from not seeing this to seeing this, I mean, I'd be throwing up at every turn.
or just be like, having to like hold yourself back from being scary blunt with people and being like, what's on your face?
Ew.
Like,
I can't. I cannot.
People can see dandruff.
Yeah, and so Cass and I actually kind of were talking a little bit about the dandruff thing before this, and I'm like, I've never seen it or known that other people could see it, and that makes me paranoid that if I had dandruff that people could see it. That too. Terrifies me. Ugh, at least we have blonde hair. I feel like it hides a little better.
Right. Okay. Go on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, like hair.
Wait, this is like my next one. Okay,
really?
Go on.
Like hair on things, like
yes,
people's hair. I think I'm not going to talk about, I can't even talk about it long because I have a visceral reaction when I talk about this specific thing. It's my biggest fear in my entire life, and I cannot talk about it. But hair with food, that's all I'll say. I cannot go on, or I will.
Girl, get sick. I don't care about that, which is so funny.
I have a visceral, like my palms are sweating even bringing it up. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. I get physically sick, and like thinking about really being able to see that. I mean, I'm done.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no.
Okay, adjacently, I wrote down dog hair with the asterisk, right? Okay, so I have a lab. My guide dog Romana, she's a lab, and she's a yellow lab, so her hair sheds white. Of course, I can see, a lot of it, or if I'm wearing black clothes, I can see it on that, or like in people's cars when it piles up. But listen. The few times that like she's gotten out of the car and she's like she has shook.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. She's shook outside in the sunlight and I see individual hairs falling off of her.
Oh.
I hate that. I would I don't like that. Well, like, and she'll cuddle in bed with me, and she's shedding really bad right now because it's like the semi-annual shedding.
Semi-annual sale, but
yeah,
shedding.
exactly.
Oh my god!
And so like my bed sheets are like a light color, and so I don't see it.
You don't see it.
But like I'm so glad because that would be kind of gross. Honestly.
Ignorance is bliss with our dogs in our bed because my dog is also in my bed, and I don't want to see whatever he's bringing into the bed.
Nope. No.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to think about it.
But like, also, this is not on my list, but it reminded me with the hair and food. Food in people's mouths?
Ew.
We don't see that. We don't see it. But like, I would
such a
vomit.
Horrible thought. Ew.
It's a horrible thought, but I bet people can see it, and that freaks me out that they see mine. Oh no. This is scaring me. This whole thing is terrifying me. But you're next.
Okay, I'm glad I cannot see body hair because, like, have you ever had just like a really long hair on like your face, or like someone will have like a really long hair in like a weird spot, or like when especially men get older, they'll have like hair in like their nose or their ears.
Oh god,
that sounds disgusting, and I'm glad I can't see that.
Yeah, I'm very glad I can't see that, but it freaks me out that people see it on me.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm glad my body hair is like white, like, like
same,
essentially clear, but I've noticed like sometimes I have like one really long hair like on like above one of my lips, and I'm like, oh, I bet you people could see that.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I feel like our hair being really blonde though is actually a problem because it's giving us a very false sense of security because we can't see it. I'm like, I can't see it. Nobody can see it. And then it's like, if I don't shave my legs and I go in the sun and I'm like, oh no, though, this is a lot. Yeah, I mean, I have very light hair and I actually am not a very hairy person. And like, I don't have a lot of hair in general, but it's like, still, if I got to shave my legs, or like people are seeing that, even if I think they're not seeing it, I'm like, they're seeing it. Yeah.
This is a very specific story, and I feel like this was one of the times I noticed it. Okay, so, having been chronically ill, when I used to run cross country in high school, there were some times that during one of the seasons, like I would be taking prednisone because like I would have some sort of like a Crohn's flare up. And I always got this really wild side effect with prednisone where like my body hair would just like replicate wildly, specifically on my arms. Yeah. And so like that isn't usually a problem, but I'm Latina and I have very hairy arms. And it, you wouldn't necessarily know it until I was like outside. Yeah. Or you touch my arms, they're very soft. But like, love it. But like when I was taking prednisone and I was running, so I was outside, I looked down at my arms and I saw like it looked like they were glowing. There was so much arm hair and I didn't notice it before.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I mean, we just don't see it. I mean, we're in denial. But then again, I don't really notice other people's arm hair or whatever.
Right.
Like,
unless it's like super massive or noticeable.
Yeah, which would usually be like a man with dark hair. I might be like, oh, he has hairy arms. But like, I've never really... I'm trying to think of all my girlfriends that I'm close with, and I'm like, I don't really even think about their arms or their arm hair. Like, I don't really notice that.
Right.
Like, I've never thought about it, really, so I don't know. So I mean, but maybe other people think about it because they can see it and we can't see it.
Or maybe, yeah, it might just be like a passive thought,
Maybe, yeah. Now I'm wondering what people have thought about my arm.
Wow. Oh, a little insecure, but that's okay.
I know. Oh my gosh. Oh, same. So another time, I'm glad. This is a little bit going a little in a different direction, but same thing. Another time, sometimes I'm glad when I can't see things. Is like sometimes, we like being independent, but like every once in a while, you're lazy and you want someone else to take the lead in your life of whatever you're doing. And sometimes it is just nice if you're going somewhere crowded or something and you're just like, lead the way, sir or madam or whoever.
Yes.
Lead the way. And then it's like, you don't have to, it's like, oh, I'm so glad that I don't always have to be the leader per se, like when I'm out with people.
You don't have to think too hard.
But yeah, you kind of, you're like, well, I can't see, so, and it's like, I could do it, yeah, but like, I'm never like the default leader because I'm the blind one, so it's kind of like, hey, why don't you lead the way? And it's like, I could lead the way, but sometimes you don't want to, sometimes it's nice to just be like, okay. Right. And like, also, like, you never have to be the driver for your friends or whatever. I mean, there are times where it's nice to just be the person that gets driven, or I mean, and trust me, not driving freaking sucks. Like, it does. Yeah. So I'm just trying to see the bright side of not driving,
No, girl, that actually, I was just telling my mom this like yesterday. Like sometimes, it's like I went on this rant to Casey literally yesterday about how like it's frustrating to not drive and you have to like really try to time your rides correctly. So like I scheduled a ride and it just so happened to work correctly. And like I had this like small moment where I was like, you know what? In this moment right now, I feel like a posh rich lady. I can just be like, oh, goodbye, I'm getting in the car that has arrived for me.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. No, that's very true. And a lot of the times it stinks, but there are those moments where you're like, I'm really tired, and I'm kind of glad that this person is driving. And especially on like road trips, you never have to be the driver on a road trip. You know,
I never have to DD if I ever go out with my friends, which is always nice. Just because that, honestly, driving at night sounds really hard. I mean, driving sounds hard, but driving at night sounds really hard too. One thing I'm glad this is my last thing. I'm glad that so obviously, like, I would say it's definitely worse to like, or. Hold on, let me think about this. I would say that I would definitely rather be able to make eye contact with people than not. But you ever trying to avoid someone and you don't have to make unwanted eye contact? Because if you like accidentally make eye contact, you're like, oh dang it, they saw me. Like we don't have to do that because I feel like. I mean, it's a lot rarer that this ever happens to us because, like, generally we can't really see anyone, even the people we want to find. So if we happen to, you know, I don't know. We don't have to accidentally catch a glance of someone that we didn't really want to.
Right. And if we somehow did, we would probably be looking really oblivious because we're blind, and they would probably feel that we didn't catch their eye. Like, you're not making eye contact in the way that you're, like, registering that that's the person.
Right. You can tell when someone's like looking like at you or when someone's kind of just like looking beyond you.
Yes. Uh-huh. And we could always play the blind card of like, I'm ignoring you because I can't see you. Even if we knew they were there, you can kind of play that card of like, I can't see.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you can kind of be more avoidant actually, which is sometimes bad. But
right, of course, like I would rather be able to find people that I want to talk to.
Yeah. I do feel like I inadvertently avoid people a lot, and maybe sometimes it does work out in my favor. I don't know.
True.
Well, that was my last
That was my list as well. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I have opened up a whole new world for myself today.
I'm scared. Like sometimes when I hear people with like really good vision, they tell me things they can see. I'm like, it is at this moment that I feel like we live in two completely separate worlds.
It does make you feel like that. It does make you feel like, do I even know the world I'm in? And like,
yeah.
Or
like, I don't know. It just like, or they're lying to you. They're like, you're like, no, there's no way that that's real. Like,
right. Because they could lie to us and we wouldn't know if they're messing with us.
Yeah. Just like, oh yeah, I can totally see that. Like, no. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Blows my mind.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Wow. We have so many questions for the sighted people in our lives now. That we have to go ask them.
I feel like, especially when it comes to like looking at people, seeing like all the unwanted things on people that we were like talking about, people are just used, like you said, people are just used to seeing that. And I feel like you know what, sighted people or, you know, people in our lives, you should take this as a compliment. We think that you look so much cuter.
Yeah, you look great. Except I hate it when
so
men.
Good.
I literally hate it when men make that joke though. Of like, I'm blind. It's like, oh, well, that's why you're dating me then. It's like, no, I can see you good enough. Shut up. I hate that. Stop. But
also, we can make that joke.
Yeah, we can make the joke, but don't be like, oh, well, that's why you're dating me. It's like, okay.
So funny.
But also, deaf people, I feel like if people who are deaf or hard of hearing could like suddenly hear, there'd probably be a lot of horrible sounds that they'd be like, how do you ever live with hearing that?
Right?
You know? What?
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. Like, I just nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. It's like, oh, yeah. There are some bad sounds, and I guess we've had to deal with those.
Right, but, and you don't really know any better when you, like, have the sense, right? That you don't have to, like, miss out on that. Or, you know, just like bad smells. I know people that like can't smell things.
Yeah.
Which is obviously good and bad too, but like there's some really gross things like walking by a dumpster. No thanks.
Yeah, there are some bad smells and sounds that we've just learned to deal with. So I guess that's how sighted people are too, is they just learn to like deal with it. Because another one I just thought of is like when people get sick, like vomiting, like people can see that.
Ew.
Like if a little kid, you know, like does that on the ground and then people can see detail? No. No.
That's not for me.
To any researchers listening, I would not like my sight back. Thank you.
Yeah. I am fine.
I am actually good. I would rather not see a plain window than see vomit, you know?
Or like bug eyes.
Like would you rather see a star or bug eyes? I mean,
ooh. Yeah, you have to take both. Like
you'd have to take both, and I almost wouldn't make that trade, if you know what I mean. Like I just
also the fact, like things like stars, you know, sure, like there are very few times we've been able to see that. Like I feel like it makes it more special because people are so used to seeing things like that
That's
like
true.
When they're so I was like, okay, one time this blew my mind. I've only seen it like maybe once or twice. Have you ever seen lightning?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like it's hard to see anyway. Because a lot of times you'll just see flashes in the sky.
Yeah, mostly it's just like the flash.
I saw like the streak of like jagged lightning. I was in the car with someone and I was like, that was lightning. I was an adult, you guys.
It's very rare that I do see the streak. Like I've probably seen that like a small handful of times.
Right. And like I think people sighted people have seen something like that more.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I feel like it's like when a kid sees something cool, like people kind of mutually get excited. They're like, oh yeah, you know what? That is pretty cool, right? Like,
oh my gosh. It's like, can they see the rain coming out of the cloud?
That's what I'm saying, girl. Like, I want to see the rain, man.
But like coming out of the cloud.
Ooh,
like by the time we see rain, it's like right there at eye level.
Yeah, it's like
but
in
are
the
you
sky,
seeing
generally.
the cloud that is wow.
That'd be so wild.
Yeah.
Sighted people are probably like, aw, but like, no, for real, like.
Yeah, they probably feel super bad for us. Sorry, y'all.
But like,
it's fine.
Hey, again, think about it. People look nicer.
Yes. No, yeah, they do. You have clear skin to us.
Do you want to see pores on someone's face? No.
I do not. I don't want to see pores. I don't.
Gross.
No. I don't. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. Craziness. But
that was our app.
It was kind of wild. We went through a journey. We hope we took you through a journey. Whether you're
I
blind
feel like
or
I'm
sighted.
still having a small crisis.
I'm having a cry, definitely. But that was a fun one. Thanks for listening, everybody.
We will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.